Okay, good evening everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and today is Tuesday, February 18th, 2014, and this is the Technical Analysis Stock Market Today. The title of my blog post is Bankers Dying, and we talk about that and some interesting things that are going on, and who knows what's really happening. But anyway, let me go back to the Dow Industrials to start off here. The Dow is down almost 24 points today. So really the main thing that we're talking about here on the Dow, and you're going to see it on several of these other indices, is compression. Okay, this is the most compressed day of the last 18 days. Okay, now whether we get a pop explosion tomorrow or whether we get another compression day and get a couple back-to-back, we'll just have to wait to see. But compression is usually followed by expansion, okay? So the last time we had a day like this, it was one of these days back up in here. I can't remember which one it is. I'd have to go back and measure it. But we're kind of running into a little bit of resistance here. See this peak here? So in this bottom right here. So this zone, we're kind of pausing here. So it's going to be interesting to see, do we then explode on through this and go to new highs? Or do we reverse and go to the downside in a big move? So we'll just have to. There's no way to know for sure what's going to happen. All you can really say is that we've got some compression, which should be followed by expansion. So some big moves should be on the way. Same thing you're seeing is on the S&P 500. Look at this day. Very, very compressed. Most compressed since this day here, which started off this move to the downside. So I'm not sure what we're going to get. The problem is I'm getting different buy signals on stocks too. So that's a little bit confusing. I've got to go with what you get, So it's when you look at the Dow Dow Transports here, the Dow Transports were down. Let me get rid of this bar here. Down today. What were they down? Down 70, almost 75 points. And back below the 10-day exponential moving average. I don't have a sell signal on the transports, not quite, but getting close. So that's going to be interesting to see how that starts to act. The Nasdaq continues to push to the upside. Okay, and now we're getting into this zone where I talked about these lines are previous highs for peak rallies that occurred in the year 2000. So it's pushing right up through that resistance and doesn't seem to be showing any signs of stopping at this point. Now we've got this channel. That's the other thing to think about. We've got this channel. We're pushing the upside of this channel. And last time we did that, we came back in and we pushed the outside and we came back in hard. And so we're not there yet, but we're getting close. New York Composite. Similar type look to the S&P 500. Now I drew this dotted line in here because basically what I did was I just eyeballed this and put a line right through the center of this congestion, okay? And a lot of times that'll help you get a feel for where a resistance level is, and that looks to be right where we're stopping in here. Now, we may, because we're pausing, getting this compression, we may just set up and do like a sideways consolidation and then continue to move. If we're going to move higher, that's one scenario that's possible. There could be a lot of different things. Let's take a quick look at indicators. I don't think these things are telling us a whole lot tonight. The VIX is still low. I mean, we basically had one day, not a whole lot of change. Short-term trading index, again, up over 1.5, but we've got the 10-day exponential of the short-term trading index right in the middle. Not really getting a strong signal on that in any way. And the other thing is the high-low. Now, the high-low is pushed up to this trend line, which is a trend line from the high in October to the high in December, and we're right up to that. So we had 212 more new highs than we had new lows today. So again, a sign of the continued strengthening in this move that seems to have happened over the last 2 weeks. Okay, that's it for the market snapshot. So basically we're sitting here with compression And in addition to the trade ideas I talked about on Sunday night or Sunday afternoon, I guess sometime, I've got two more that signal today. And the first one I want to talk about is SINA. SINA Corp got a signal today. And so the entry point would be, you know, tomorrow at the opening, just the way we talked about the ones for this morning. And I will have the details of this on the Trade Ideas webpage. We'll be talking about an initial stop of 2 ATR, and 1 ATR is basically about 3 points, 2.99 points. So 2 ATR is 6 points below this point here. So we're talking about 76.4 or 66.43. So quite a bit of room for an initial stop, but you know, a lot of times that's what you got to do to give it a little bit of room to get going. So anyway, that's the initial stop on it, and then we'll set a target in here. I'll have that. I don't have that as numbers in front of me, so we'll just have that on the website. But got an initial buy signal in here. We'll see if this thing runs. And then the other one is SSYS. I was a little bit torn in here that, okay, we've had 4 up days and then now I get a buy signal, okay? It's because several of the indicators have now aligned themselves. And, you know, I'm initially was hesitating and thinking, well, let's wait for a pullback to the 10-day exponential moving average. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and go with it. Now, the thing you've got to realize, if you're playing SSYS, the average true range is 5.71 days, 5.72 points, I'm sorry, per day. So this is a big moving stock, big active stock. Of course, the price is up here at $125, and that's part of it, but it's also a very volatile stock. So when you set a stop at 2 ATRs, you're talking about 11.4 points. Okay, so when you do the math and you talk about the options that you buy and you go to take a position like this, you've got to basically ask yourself, can I deal with that kind of volatility? Can I deal with that kind of risk and position on a stock like this? If you can, then great. If you can't, then, you know, next, go to something else. So I'm going to set this up. I'll have the parameters behind the trade idea. I'm going to go ahead and go with this because sometimes this stock, although it gets kind of jerky, and I see a lot of jerky motion sometimes in this, not always, but sometimes. But there are times where, you know, when it's coming out, it will move and just take off. So you just never know. All right, that's it for tonight. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. We'll see what Wednesday has to hold for us, and tomorrow we'll talk. We'll see what focus on some Chinese stocks. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.